Welcome back, everybody. You might notice we've got a new view today. That's because I have this new arm that's set up so that I can mount multiple things up here, and you'll probably see me experimenting with it a bunch, and I do appreciate feedback. But the idea is to not just have that like head on, like we're staring each other deep into each other's eyes all the time, and to have a few other looks. So right now I've got it up to my right, looking down on me a little bit. I've moved the stuff behind me a little bit so we can see, you know, we've got the display cases still over there, and cleaned up my little shelf a little bit. But that's not why we're here today. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newest information from Unicorn Overlord, which just keeps looking better and better. So this is an exploration overview, and it has some really cool information. And so we'll also talk about the card game that's coming out, because that also looks pretty good. But basically what we learn from this video is that there's going to be this whole continent which you can explore, and the order in which you do it is up to you. And you can see there's like desert-like regions, there's a northern ice region, there's mountainous regions. It looks like a pretty expansive map. Like there's a lot of different places that you can go. And so while you can do it in your whatever order you want, the main character here suggests that you kind of start close to home, and that might be the best way to do it. But they do express that, like, yeah, you can do it whichever way that you want to do it. And as you go around the world map, you're going to be getting quests. And these quests are going to be unlocking characters. They're going to be giving you different like equipment, all sorts of different things, revealing story, etc. If the quests are too hard, you can always come back to them later. And basically, there's just a ton of content aside from the main campaign. You can also liberate towns all over the continent, because these towns are controlled by the Empire. And as you take over these towns, you will not take over them, you're liberating them because you're the Liberation Army. As you do that, you will actually be able to do things like crafting and buy things in the shops, and some of the towns will be in disrepair, and so you can actually bring them materials, rebuild the towns, fortify them, and that will unlock different things. So they specifically mention that doing that with a town will unlock the tavern, and then you can bring people to have food. And when they show the food in this video, they show that there's, you know, how many people can sit down for that meal, what kind of benefit it's going to give them. It builds friendships between characters and all sorts of things like that. So tons of new information in this video. It really is looking just like that ogre battle game that we want to see, but with story, with overworld exploration, with all this stuff that is just so interesting. The amount of like equipment that you can see here that you can equip to your different units, like it's going to be really fun to be customizing all over the place. So really excited to see how this all. So right here, actually, we can see attendees, how many people can sit down for that meal, and how much rapport it actually gives them. And of course, the food looks so good in this game. I'm pumped. All right, so the next part of the video that we need to look at is this collector's edition, which comes with the art book, with the cool box, the 16-bit arranged album, which there is a video for. The music sounds real good. You get the game, you get the DLC voucher, which is pretty intriguing to me, and the heraldry pack, and then you get the card game. So 239 cards, 2 to 4 players, playtime 30 to 120 minutes. So this video is all about the card game and what you can do in it. And basically it plays like a deck building game. It is not like a long-term project that they're doing where there'll be booster packs. This is like a standalone game that you can play with your friends. You play across 5 rounds, and whoever has the most renown by the end of the game will win the game. So the way that it works is you have all of these different piles, and so every single round, everybody draws 5 cards from their deck. You build up your deck, and you play these different locales or these different territories that you own on the bottom row, and then on the top row you play all of your different items and units and things like that. These 9 cards in the middle here, that's the shop, and so you can buy things from the shop. Whenever you have territories, you can actually burn other people's territories, and when you do so, they don't get the bonuses of the territories for that round. And there's also this curse pile where you can play curses into people's hands, and basically it makes their hands worse. So the really quick summary of how this game actually works is everybody takes turns buying stuff from the shop and setting up their hand, and then at the end of the turn they're going to play 5 cards from their hand to try to get the most might. Once they do that, whoever gets the most might gets some renown for that round, and then you go on to the next round. Everybody discards their cards. You draw 5 more from your deck. And then once again, you go through a shopping phase, a burning phase, the cursing, all of that strategically. And with 4 players, it makes it very interesting because if you're playing one-on-one, then you could probably just really gang up on somebody. But if you're playing 4 players, then there's going to be a lot of discussion around what you're actually doing. So when we can look at some screenshots here. So for example, let's see, this person has 2 territories. They play the 5 cards from their hand. They get flipped, and when you flip them, you can see they've got they have an axe wielder, they have a couple of sword wielders, and they have a steel sword, which gives some sort of a bonus for having 2 sword wielders on the field. So when you looked at all this, you can kind of see, okay, basically I need to build up my territory, play the best hand I can play, try to win the most points in that round, and then do that a few rounds in a row. Now there's more rules to it than just what I've said there, but that is the basic gist of it. And so this video really got me excited because I was thinking, what is this going to be like? What kind of rules are they going to have? Is it like a TCG type thing? I was thrilled to see that it's a 4-player game. It's a deck building game, and it's a game that you can just bring to game night to people that have no idea what Unicorn Overlord is, and you can play with them. And it's actually better if you do bring it to people that have never played the game before, because they say the person that goes first is the last person to have played a Unicorn Overlord. So if you play with people that have never played the game before, then you automatically always go first. So, nice little hack there for you. You're welcome. So now that I know what the card game is all about, I have to say I really want this physical collector's edition. There's only one barrier that I'm kind of finding right now, which is in Canada, it's going to ring me about $174.99 with free shipping to be able to do this. But man, I almost never, pretty much never do collector's editions. And so maybe this is the time to spring for one. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. If you think that this is one of the more worth it physical collector's editions that you've seen. I love art books. I love card games. And if you haven't checked out that video for the 8-bit or 16-bit soundtrack, go do that, because I hope there's a way to swap it in the game, because I would totally play with the 16-bit soundtrack in the game, because it sounds really, really good from what we've heard so far. So let me know what you're thinking. I know a lot of you at this point, it's very clear to me that you're hyped about this game, and I'm hyped with you. So let's hope for some more gameplay and explanation of systems videos soon, so that we can talk about it more and make more videos. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you all soon in another video.